Now, this transformation does come with risks, so we do need to be careful. As I said before, believing that the cloud is just a secure place and security is the company's problem that you're buying those services from isn't necessarily, going to wash in these environments. For example, we have Docker, what we call Docker containers, which is really a development environment. So your development team builds within this Docker virtual environment. Is completely cloud-based, and we can do everything safely in there. If the code works and everything, then we can decide what to do with it. Now, Docker has been attacked in the past, and Docker accounts have been exposed. Similarly, people using Linux, quite often when we use what they call cloud workloads, building machines in the cloud, we do that on Linux machines. Linux is kind of thought to be safe because not many people use it. So there's something called security through obscurity. So if you look at it from an attacker's point of view, if I want to get my attack out to as many people as possible, I'm going to target what I think most people are using. So that would probably be Windows, or maybe Mac now as well would be an attractive target. Mobile devices would be an attractive target. And Linux has often kind of been thought, well, Linux is secure, you don't need to worry about it, because not many people are using it. But as more and more people started using it, it becomes more and more attractive as an attack vector. And we saw back in 2016 an official release of something called Linux Mint, which is an operating system, was actually poisoned, where you would go and download the latest version and install it, but it came with a coded backdoor where an attacker could attack your company just by the fact that you're doing what you're supposed to do by, keeping your Linux machines up to date with the latest build. Also, things like XSIM, which is a mail transfer agent, or an email client, if you will, so a way to send and receive email. There was a flaw last year in TLS, so the security that was being used to send and receive this email had a flaw in it, meaning that anybody who was local to a machine, so anybody who was sat at a machine, or even anybody who was remotely connecting in, could have effectively administrative privileges. As long as you typed in the right commands, you kind of had that privilege handed to you, which obviously left them well open for attack. Also, there's something called SSH for Linux, which is similar to remote desktop for Windows, where essentially I'm an admin sat at my desk. I need to contact somebody who's working from home, or I need to contact a machine in a data center somewhere to do some sort of troubleshooting on it. And these are the ways that I would do that, like I say, SSH or remote desktop. And again, we saw brute force attacks on these two models, making up to 12% of all attacks seen using our honeypots in the first half of last year, or sorry, the first half of 2019. So even these sort of secure methods to connect to machines remotely, maybe somebody's working from home, like I say, maybe you're connecting into a server, these methods are being attacked by attackers. So that puts in a risk of people are working remotely. How do my admins connect in a secure way, that remains secure? And then very famously, a few years ago, we saw WannaCry, we saw Expedia or NotPetya, where the Eternal Blue was used, which was a vulnerability in Windows that was used to spread those pieces of malware. So these are protocol-based attacks where people are using vulnerabilities in the operating systems we're using, whether that is on a physical machine or whether it is in the cloud. These vulnerabilities are there, and they are being used by attackers to launch attacks. So these are all kind of examples